I'm Elisa. I live in San Francisco with my mom and my sister Janet. And before we get into the story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Ever since I was a kid, I dreamed of becoming a lawyer to stand up against people who act like my mom and sister. We are three rich with a big mansion, many cars, and dozens of servants. My mom doesn't like poor people and thinks they all should be tied to a rocket and launched to Mars. Like one day when I was 8, Janet accidentally pushed a servant while snatching a toy from me. The servant then tripped.
Oh God, you filthy, ugly, dirty poor. You touched me. I had just taken a bath. You ruined me with your poverty germs. Servants, turn the Giza on. I'm going to take a bath again.
As she went inside, Janet brought a jug of water and poured all the water into his pants. The servant was embarrassed. I confronted Janet. Janet, that's not right. He didn't do it on purpose. You pushed him. Please be a human. So you see, this is how my mom and sister were. I never understood why people with less money are considered less human. I was really against this concept. And that's why my mom and sister never liked me. And Janet was a big troublemaker. Like, she would spit on my face, make a hole in the back of my dress, jump on the bed when I was asleep, and much more. But as we grew up, I started doing things back to Janet. Like one morning when I was 16, I splashed water on Janet's face while she was asleep. Wake up!
Idiot. What is this behavior?
Mom asked me to clean all the trash. So I started with you, and I ran away as she chased me. I felt so peaceful, but Janet made a complaint to my mom, and I was called.
That's not an ethical way to wake someone up.
Exactly.
Mom, she's always mean to me, but you don't see any fault in her?
Why would I? She doesn't have any.
Mom, you're the only one who knows me.
Huh, I'll approach the United Nations for Human Rights Commission if you both don't stop troubling me and the poor saying that I stormed out. It was my first day in high school, but the beginning of my day was ruined. Janet and I studied in the same class. During English class, the teacher introduced a new Amber. Amber was a poor girl on scholarship. As she walked past Janet, Janet covered her nose with her hands.
Oh my God, why do you smell like shit? Don't you take a shower? Oh God, I can't take it.
And then she wore a mask. As the whole class laughed, Amber looked embarrassed, and I felt pity for her. I looked at the teacher, but she smirked. I gestured to Amber to come sit with me, and she did. Don't mind, the world has a lot of mean people. I'm Elisa. She just smiled and sat quietly. I could feel what she must be feeling inside, but I was more angry at the teacher than Janet because the teacher was ridiculous. She needed punishment, so I thought of a plan. During lunch, I rushed to her scooter, then I punctured the tires and vanished. After school, as the teacher tried to accelerate her scooter, it slipped and ran away, making the teacher fall on the schoolyard. Janet and her squad laughed at her. Thank God no one knew it was me. Then Amber came to me and said,
I know it was you.
You know, but how?
I saw when I was going outside. Aren't you scared?
Scared me? Ha ha ha. No one can frighten lions. Then I roared and she laughed out loud. It felt good to see her laughing. We became friends instantly, and she seemed like a nice girl to me. From the next day onwards, we started hanging out together. We went to malls, amusement parks, and picnics. I bought her dresses, shoes, and bags. Within a few weeks, she became my bestie. But I sensed that Janet didn't like it much. Because one day when I went home after school, Mom was angry with me for befriending Amber.
Elisa, how could you do this? You're hanging out with a filthy, poor girl.
But Mom, she is rich at heart.
No, Mom, she can't be rich. Anyway, she smells bad. I've smelled her.
Gosh, I don't know what bad I did in my previous life to get a daughter like you, Elisa.
Probably you treated the poor like animals in that birth too.
I can't believe you can talk so badly to such a great woman like Mom.
Shut up, you mom slave!
I don't think I have any option left than to hang myself. I'm going to heaven.
Heaven or hell? Take Janet also. Oh wait, I don't believe you guys. I need assurance. Let me come after you. And I was grounded for a full 4 days. A week later, winter vacations arrived, and I decided to enjoy the holidays at our farmhouse with Amber. We really enjoyed our vacation, but one day in the market, while standing beside my car and talking to Amber, someone bumped their car into me. I got pushed, fell on an egg basket, and all the eggs broke. My dress was messed up, and I yelled, "Who the hell is driving this dumper who is blind here? Come out!" I said, "Come out now," and a boy came out.
Well, that was a mistake, beautiful girl. I would pay.
I didn't ask for money. I need an apology. He apologized, but he paid me a bit more. When I asked him, He said it was a tip for my beauty, and my blood boiled like never before. I threw all his money on his face. Then, I picked up a stick and hit his car's windshield, hard as it broke. I gave him money with a tip. Keep it and don't mess with Elisa. Ever. He then pulled me and kissed me on my lips. I stood shocked. He went off, and Amber smiled. The next day at school, Amber kept teasing me about the kiss scene. After school, I saw the same boy sitting on his car's bonnet. He walked up to me and said,
Hey, I'm Jack. Remember the boy who kissed you that day?
No, I don't need to.
I wanted to say that I like you.
Get lost!
Oh, it's so noisy here. You said I like you too, and I heard get lost.
I said get lost. Only then, he handed a cheat paper to Amber and went off. Amber smiled, but I didn't ask her what it was about. Suddenly, I noticed Janet peeking from behind a wall. Ugh, that weirdo always stalked me. I stuck my tongue out at her and went off. That day at home, I couldn't stop thinking about Jack. I liked his attitude, the way he would walk, talk, and flirt. Everything seemed so attractive. I was curious to meet Amber the next day and learn about him. But the next day at school, I pretended like I didn't care. Amber said,
Hey, Elisa, Jack has given his phone number on the cheat.
So,
He has asked you to call him,
my foot? Why would I?
but he is a handsome guy.
I don't think so.
Thank God you denied it. I really like him. I'll call him now.
Don't you dare! He is mine! And we both laughed. That day, before I could call him, he called me on my number. Lord. Amber gave him my number. Anyway, we started talking on the phone every day. He seemed like a nice and caring guy, but I somewhere knew this wasn't gonna go nicely, as I saw Janet would often sneak peek into my room. Soon, Jack was admitted to my class. Now, we would hang out together. Weeks passed and we came closer and closer. He would take me to beaches. We had a lot of fun, planned our future, and we even decided our kids' names. One day, he told me he was actually a poor guy. The car and the money were his besties, but I just hugged him because money was never my concern. Then something happened that I was always afraid of. One day, Janet told Mom about Jack, and Mom asked me to bring him home. That was the first time I was scared a bit. Jack came home in his original identity. He wore poor clothes and a slipper with a hole in it. When Mom noticed it, she went bonkers on him.
I think I know your breed. Poor beggars like you trap rich girls to make money, and you think I'll fall for it?
Stop it, Mom!
Ma'am, I love your daughter. That's the truth no one can deny. But believe me, I was never after her money. In fact, before today, I never knew she was your daughter. She never told me.
Shut up, you scoundrel.
Watch your ethics, Janet. He is my boyfriend.
Security, throw this poor boy out of my house right now, or I'll get infected with his poverty germs.
Mom, you can't do that to him. And within a minute, Jack was thrown out. I couldn't bear all this and smashed all the expensive antique items that Mom had purchased from foreign countries. Damn, all she cared about was money only. But then I was locked in a room for 5 days. I cried my heart out. I wish Dad was alive. On the morning of the 6th day, I heard a whispering sound from the window. When I checked, I was shocked to see Amber. She climbed up that big pipe to reach my room.
Elisa, I'm here to take you to school. Come, it's gonna be a special day for you.
I climbed down the same pipe and we ran away from home. Then, when I went to school, all the students had gathered in the auditorium. Turned out there was a program where the country's biggest businessman had been invited as a chief guest. My mom was there on the stage too, and she looked shocked as she spotted me. Suddenly, someone hugged me from behind, and I turned to see Jack there. Thank God, Jack, you aren't angry at me. I thought I lost you forever.
Why would a diamond be punished for coal?
And we both laughed.
So finally, lovebirds got united. Let me click a picture.
Suddenly, the chief guest arrived on the stage, and he gave an outstanding speech. Mom looked so happy to meet him. Then he said,
Well, you students might not know this, but among you all, my son studies too.
and then he pointed to Jack. OMG, I was literally shocked. Jack was the son of the richest businessman in the country. I looked at him and he smiled. Jack went onto the stage and Mom stood stunned. After the program, when he came to me, I was angry at him for lying. He said,
I didn't lie to you, Elisa. My dad had thrown me out because I never wanted to follow in his footsteps. I lived with my friend for many months. In fact, I had lost all hope that Dad would ever take me back. But now, we, father and son, have united again. I had told Amber everything and she helped me.
I trust you more than anyone in the world, Jack. You're my life. I laid my head on his chest as he made me sit on the ground. I was feeling so relieved and peaceful. Jack, Amber, and I had quite a good time that day. When I went home, I saw Mom crying. I didn't ask her and began walking to my room. But then she said,
Janet has left. A letter for me. She fell in love with a janitor and ran away with him. Oh, those poverty germs.
"Well, that's karma, Mom. You really deserve it." I went to my room, packed all my stuff, and as I walked by Mom, she asked me, where was I going? "Far from you, any place where you aren't visible to me," and I left. I shifted to Jack's home. That night, we both laid on the terrace, looking up at the stars.
Have you really left your mom forever?
No, only until she learns to treat others like she wants to be treated, and he held my hand tightly as we continued gazing at the stars. Before we finish, I just want to say that climbing the water pipe is really dangerous. Your safety should always come first.
Hey, I'm Anna, and I have a crazy story to tell you. But before I do, please like and subscribe. I grew up in an orphanage, and ever since I was little, I was surrounded with people who loved me. They said I had the prettiest blue eyes, and my smile could brighten up a room.
I'm sure you'll get adopted by someone amazing, and you'll live like a princess.
I wish, but I don't want to leave you guys too. I loved my life there, but I wanted a real family too. My wish came true when I turned 5, and a rich supermodel, Clara, adopted me. She traveled a lot for work, and I became favorite travel buddy. When I turned 16, I started a YouTube channel documenting all my travels, and within 2 years, it had more than 20 million subscribers. Life was great, but then one day, everything changed. I was in the cafeteria when my best friend Candace came running to me. We'd been friends ever since I got featured on her channel where she pranked people.
You've got to see this, Anna. There's a girl who looks exactly like you.
Candy, is this another one of your dumb pranks? I still haven't forgiven you for stuffing fear-fake spiders in my locker.
Girl, I'm not fooling around. Trust me. Now get up.
Just then, a girl swooshed past the crowd and hugged me, and when I saw her face, I almost passed out. We were identical. Holy mother of toads. Told ya.
It's really you, Anna.
Yeah, but who the heck are you, and why do you look like me? The girl told me her name was Jamie, and she was my twin sister. My head spun in 1,000 directions as I pulled her to the side to talk. Okay, tell me everything.
My parents. Our parents are from Hawaii, and that's where I grew up. It's a beautiful place. You should visit. Oh, wait. I'm sure you've already been there since you've been everywhere.
Get to the point, Jamie.
Sorry. So I didn't know I had a sister till I saw your videos. I am so happy to have found you.
How are you so sure I'm your sister? Maybe we're just two people who look exactly like each other.
When I saw you, I confronted our parents, and they told me that they gave you up because they couldn't afford 2 kids.
That makes no sense.
Listen, I get it. I look like a homeless person, and you're, well, a queen. I know it's difficult to trust me, but we can get a DNA test to confirm it.
And we did take the test. When the results came out, I was shocked. She really was my sister. I was happy and hurt at the same time. The next few days, Jamie and I hung out a lot. She told me she was here on scholarship and was living in some shabby hostel. So I asked Clara if she could live with us.
I don't know. I mean...
Please, please. You're so busy these days, and I could use some company.
But you hardly know her.
She is my sister. Clara eventually caved and Jamie moved in. We set up a room and stayed up all night, talking. Slowly, we got close, and Jamie even helped me shoot my videos. One day we were shooting in the schoolyard when Liam, the hottest guy in school, walked up to me.
Wow, and here I thought you couldn't look prettier.
Yeah, says the guy who has the whole town drooling over his looks. Did you get a new haircut?
She noticed.
As Liam left, Jamie smirked at me.
You totally like him.
No, I don't. I mean, he's cute and all, but I don't know. We've been friends for so long.
Okay, that was a total lie.
I've had the biggest crush on Liam, but I wasn't sure if he liked me that way, so I kept my feelings to myself till I found a good time. The next few weeks, I took Jamie with me everywhere, and Candace wasn't too thrilled.
She's always around. It's annoying.
Give her some time. You'll warm up to her. Now let's get this video started. Our fans are waiting. Just then, Jamie walked in with drinks, tripped on the cords, and sent the soda splashing all over the computer screen.
Get off me. You ruined everything. Do you know how much money went into the system?
I'm sorry. Please don't worry. Be mad. I slipped. Just tell me what you want me to do. I'll get a job and replace all of this. Should I sell my phone? I'll even sell my hair. Oh shoot, can't I just…
Jeez, Jamie, chill out. Accidents happen. Candy, I'll replace your stuff. Let's not make a big deal out of this. Candace left angrily, and Jamie cried all day until I took her out for ice cream, and she finally shut up. We even decided to stay home that weekend because Jamie was so bummed out. But then Liam invited me for a party, and I couldn't say no. I asked Jamie to tag along, and she reluctantly agreed. But my jaw dropped when I saw her dressed up. Wow, you look well like me.
It's nice, right? I wanted to make an impression as your sister. Can't let your reputation stink just because I do.
Don't say that. You look great. We were having a blast at the party, and thankfully, Candace was in a good mood, and she and Jamie made up. I was getting some drinks when Liam tapped on my shoulder.
I'm glad you showed up.
How could I not? It's your party.
Listen, I've been wanting to tell you something, but I was waiting for the right time. I like you, Anna. Like, a lot. And something tells me you like me too.
Liam,
Anna, we have to. Oh my god. I'm interrupting something, right? I'm so stupid. Are you mad at me? I think you are. Maybe I should leave. Orient. No. Wait. I don't have a car or money for a cab. It's okay. I'll hitchhike with some stranger. Hopefully he won't be a kidnapper or a weirdo.
Oh my god, Jamie. You know what? Let's just leave together. I'll talk to you in school. Liam? We left, and I couldn't help feeling annoyed with Jamie. But when we reached home, Jamie's phone rang, and she went to take the call. But when she came back, I could tell she was crying. What's wrong?
Our parents want me to pull out of school and come back home immediately. You know, Anna, I've never had a friend because Mom and Dad just wouldn't let me leave the house. I hate them. They're crazy.
It can't be that bad, Jamie. They chose you over me, so I guess they do love you. I just wish I could ask them why they had…
That's it. We should switch places. You'll get your answers and I'll get some time to think about how to convince them to let me stay here.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Sure it is. Aren't you even a little bit curious about them?
I was curious about my parents, and maybe going as Jamie wasn't a bad idea. But I couldn't tell Clara. What if she didn't like the idea of me meeting my birth parents? And definitely not Candace, because she would just talk me out of it. We decided to do the switch over the weekend since Clara was out of town. Soon, I was on a plane to Hawaii, and when I reached Jamie's house, I kind of teared up seeing my birth parents, but they looked terrified.
Quick, come inside now before someone sees you.
Hello? No, hi, how are you?
Oh, I really hope no one saw you. Just go and clean up and we'll talk.
That was weird. I figured out which room was Jamie's and started to unpack. I was just wondering what to say to them when they walked in.
Jamie, how are you? Are you okay? We wanted to talk to you about that money, but you're probably tired. Let's do it in the morning. Here's some food.
With that! Mom put the plate on the floor and ran faster than a bullet. Jamie was right. These people were crazy. I wanted to confront them immediately, but I was too tired and fell asleep. But the next morning, I woke up to loud banging noises.
We know she's in there.
Open
up. You can't hide her forever.
What's happening? Guys?
You shouldn't have come back. Jamie, why are you here?
Stop yelling. And I'm not Jamie. I'm Anna. You know, the daughter you once had.
What? Did you stop your medication again? Just go inside and let us handle these people.
My birth parents went outside to calm the crowd. An hour later, we sat down and I told them everything. About me being Anna, them being my real parents, the adoption, everything. They looked completely stunned.
Anna, this is not true. It is true that Jamie's our daughter, but she's adopted.
What do you mean? You're not my birth parents.
We took Jamie in when she was just 2, and the adoption agency did tell us she had a twin. But we could only adopt one kid, and she was really sick, so we decided to take her in.
We loved her and did everything to make her happy, but she was always looking for more. She stole from us and borrowed from everyone in town and never paid anyone back.
That explains all the angry people this morning.
Yes, we had to sell whatever we had to pay them back, but it wasn't enough. When she told us she wanted to go to New York to study, We thought maybe she changed for the better. But now you're telling us she found you and she's in your home.
She's not fine. Anna, you need to go back now.
I immediately packed my stuff, but as luck would have it, Hawaii got hit by a hurricane. Thankfully, it was a small one, and flights were cleared to go after 2 days. I tried reaching out to Clara, but she was shooting in a remote location and my calls weren't going through. Just then, I saw in my Insta stories that Candace was having a party and Jamie was there too. So I headed there. But when I reached the party, my heart fell to my stomach watching Liam making out with freaking Jamie. Get off him, you freak!
Oh my god. You're back. I thought you were gone for good.
What have you gone completely crazy? Jamie,
I'm Anna.
no, you're not. I am...
Really? Then why are you dressed like that? Babe, make her leave, please.
Candy, you know me. I'm Anna.
Okay, Jamie, you need to leave before I call the cops. Anna told us how you stole from her and how she kicked you out. You can't make a fool out of me.
Clearly not, since you're already acting like one. Candace pushed me away, and I was shocked beyond words. Crushed. I went home only to find out that Jamie had told the guards not to allow me in my own house. This was officially the worst day of my life. Thankfully, I had my credit card, so I booked a hotel room. The next day in school, I was stunned to see that Jamie had taken over my life completely and had all my friends wrapped around her fingers. I had to do something to expose her before it got any worse. So I set my phone to record and waited until Jamie was alone. Do you really think you can pull this off? No one will believe you.
Jamie, please. What do you want from me? Stop torturing me.
She took the phone from my pocket and threw it away, breaking it to pieces.
Don't act smart with me, or I'll be your worst nightmare.
Jamie smirked and left. I had to outwit her. But how? No one believed me. I skipped school for the day and went back to the hotel. Just as I put my bag down, someone knocked on my door. Clara.
Anna, thank God you're okay. I just landed and tried to call you, but I couldn't get through. Then I saw you'd used your credit card and booked a place here.
Jamie, I'm sorry, Mom. I should have listened to you and not trusted Jamie at all. Clara calmed me down and I told her everything. I thought she'd scold me, but instead, she hugged me and took me home. She even told the guards not to allow Jamie in and informed Jamie's parents. Obviously, that didn't go down well with Jamie.
What is happening? I did you a favor by not throwing you in jail for robbing me, but after this...
What? You'll tell everyone that I'm you and you're me? You can fool my friends, but you cannot fool my mom or your own parents. Suddenly, Jamie saw her parents walk in and turned white as a sheet.
Is this some kind of joke? Who are these poor people? Get off me.
Jamie, let's go home. Honey, enough of this.
What home? This is my home.
Listen, girl, you're not my daughter. So pack your stuff and leave, or I'll call the police.
Jamie tried to protest, but she knew it was pointless. She left soon after, and I didn't press charges. I only wanted my life back, and jail time would have ruined Jamie's life. She was a witch, but she was still my sister. A week later, I went back to school, and Candace walked up to me.
Baby, I'm so sorry. I should have known.
It's cool. I just wanted to get past everything. Candace and Liam apologized, and a few months later, Liam and I started dating. He even joined me on my travel adventures. And things went back to normal, or so I thought. A year later, I was in Italy with Liam for a shoot. It was pretty late when I got to the hotel, but as soon as I entered, I realized someone was in my room. My blood froze to see Jamie grinning at me. How? How did you get in?
We're identical, remember? It wasn't difficult to get the master key from the manager. Tell me, are you enjoying living my life?
What do you want?
I want what's rightfully mine. I should have been the one adopted by a rich family, but instead I got thrown into a dump. While you're living like a princess, you have everything. The big house, the perfect mom, the golden boy. That's just not fair, is it?
Jamie stared at me with murder in her eyes. I tried to say something, but words just fell out of my mind. Suddenly, I heard a huge crash, and Liam rushed in with the police.
Are you okay, Anna?
Liam told me how someone on the hotel staff had seen Jamie come in, and then I walked in 5 minutes later.
They were confused and called me. Since you weren't answering, it wasn't hard to guess it was Jamie.
He's lying. I am. Anna.
Enough. stay away from my guy and my life. I can't believe I ever called you my sister. You psycho. Rot in jail for a long, long time. The police took Jamie away and I never saw her again. It took me a while to get over the episode, but with therapy and support from friends and family, I'm better and thriving.
Hi, I'm Audrey. I was born in a crazy family in New York. Please like and subscribe. My Mexican mom was so proud of her language that she never wanted to learn better English. Dad would say mean things with a smile to fool her all the time, and I hated it.
Wow, this stew tastes like mud. What did you do to it, you insane woman?
What you telling me? Do you like?
Estoy contenta.
As a kid, I never had the courage to tell Mom what a jerk he was, cause I knew she'd be sad. But every time he did that and smirked at me, I knew that Mom would soon catch on to his words, and it would end bad. And over time, Mom learned more English from her neighbor friend, and she realized that all these years Dad had just been giving her hatred. Their fights got bigger, and one day, when I was in the 7th grade, Mom finally decided she wanted a divorce. When I had to choose a parent, of course, I chose Mom. We took off to Mexico that same night. Mom, are we going to Grandma's?
Oh, Misha, amor.
Grandma moved away a long time ago, but we have a new loving family here.
A new family? The cab stopped at a huge mansion, and a strange man ran towards us and hugged Mom. He also said something to me, but I didn't get a word. Mom then took me to a room, and it was all ready for me. Mom, what's going on? Who's this man? As Mom started telling her secrets one by one, I kept sinking deeper into the bed.
That's Carlos, and he used to be my boyfriend long ago. If your grandma hadn't forced me to marry your dad, we would have been a big, happy family already. And you know what? He has a son your age, Matthew.
What was I just hearing? Mom, I left my school, my friends, my whole life in New York for you, and you created your own family here and didn't even tell me about it? How could you keep all this from me? She kept explaining, but I just asked her to leave the room and slammed my door hard. It was so much to take in, and I just wanted to cry. Suddenly, I heard a loud, non-stop knocking on my door. Who is that? Okay, wait, stop that, I'm coming. And I opened the door to find a boy standing outside grinning at me. Who are you, man? Lost your way?
Shouldn't I be asking you that? But your mama. Well, now our mama said,
Matthew, go meet your sister.
So here I am, Hermana.
What? Whatever, don't call me that.
Mama didn't teach you Spanish? Also, I heard New Yorkers are very stylish. But look at you. You're worse than my ex-girlfriend. Hey, that's a joke, okay? Don't cry.
Can you do me a favor and please get the heck out of here? I made him leave, but he left loads of mud on the carpet. That night at dinner, Mom introduced me to everyone, and Carlos even made a toast to me. But after that, they all started talking in Spanish. Was I invisible? I stood up to leave. Then Mom held my hand.
Where are your manners? We're having family time.
Family? You all are clearly a family, Mama. Excluding me. I don't even understand your language.
Oh, Misha, amor.
Just use the language of love. It's easy, try it.
Mom, can't you see I feel so left out? But you're just joking about it. I shook her hand off and walked up to my room. The next day, I was joining school and thought at least that would give me some relief. Until Matthew came and sat right next to me. Holy moly!
Hey, better not tell anyone we're related. And can you please wax your mustache? People will think you're me.
It's not my problem, you've got a girly face. He hit my face with a book, and suddenly the teacher yelled,
What's going on there?
Ma'am, can you believe it? She's asking me to be her boyfriend. But I told her, I already have eyes for you.
I was sure the teacher was going to kick him out now, but to my surprise, she giggled.
Oh, stop it, you.
What? Who was this boy? Soon I realized Matthew was the coolest kid in school. All the girls and even the teachers adored him for his crazy jokes. Not me! I hated him even more because he spoke in Spanish with Mom every time I was around. I felt like an alien in the house. That Christmas, Carlos was gonna host a grand party, but I wasn't interested. I think I have an important exam that day, and in the evening, I have dance practice.
Liar! We don't have any exams on Christmas. And dance practice. You can barely walk.
Ugh, I was gonna kill him. Seeing Mom and Carlos's faces, I could tell they wanted me to attend. So I reluctantly said yes. And the party wasn't that bad. I got to meet a handsome boy, Leo.
Hey, I know you must already have a boyfriend because you're so pretty. But I have to say, you have the most dreamy eyes. I've been watching you for hours.
OMG, that made me blush. Thanks. Actually, I don't have a boyfriend. Yet we exchanged numbers and started hanging out. He seemed really cool. But one day, when Leo and I were having lunch in the school cafeteria, Matthew appeared out of the blue and pulled me aside.
Have you gone mad? Why are you sitting with that jerk?
He's not a jerk. He's my friend. Maybe future boyfriend. And why do you care anyway?
Listen, he's not a good guy. He flirts with everyone, and God knows how many girlfriends he has.
Look, who's talking? The one who flirts with teachers. Just leave me alone, okay? I can handle my own life. I knew he just wanted to spoil my first real relationship, so I ignored him and left with Leo. After that, we started going out more often. One evening, Leo invited me to his house for a party, and I was having a great time. As we were dancing, Leo suddenly pulled me closer, and my heart skipped a beat.
Oh, Hermosa, thank God you flew all the way from New York just for me.
He held my face, and we kissed. Suddenly, someone kicked Leo hard, and he went flying into a wall. Matthew, what are you doing here?
Just protecting you from this virus.
He took my hand and started walking out, but I pushed him away. You crazy idiot! You're the virus that's destroying my life. Why can't you just let me breathe?
Breathe all you want, but see this first.
He took out his phone and showed me Leo's Instagram page. It had a video of me and him kissing under the caption, 100th kiss from a New York chick. The page had videos of him kissing 99 other girls too. It looked like one of Leo's friends here had been making our video and was broadcasting it live for him. I jumped on Leo and scratched his face.
Ah, the New York chick has gone crazy like her mad brother. Someone save me!
Shut your dirty mouth! I trusted you, you mud mind. And I started pulling his hair like crazy. Matthew gave him a nice punch and then took me home. I felt really embarrassed for not listening to Matthew before. He'd only been looking out for me. So the next day at school, I sat next to him.
Not so worried about this life-destroying virus now, yeah?
I realized it's better to have him as a friend than an enemy. I thanked him for the night before, and he just laughed and hit my face with a book again. As days passed, we became good friends. I also decided to talk to Carlos and Mom and apologize for being so neglectful. But they surprised me instead.
Princesa, we have some exciting news for you.
Sí, mija.
Your 15th birthday is coming. And here in Mexico, we call it
Quinceañera?
But why do you want to do this for me? You know, after I've been, well, not so nice.
'Cause we're family, estúpida.
And you're no less than Matthew to me. I want to do this for my daughter.
I felt so stupid for not seeing this before. These people really cared about me, just like the family I'd always wanted. On the day of the party, I could already hear music and people laughing and talking. As I got ready, I walked out all dressed in their traditional way, and everyone clapped for me. Just then, Matthew barged into the room looking mad.
Stop the party, Papa. This girl doesn't deserve any of this love and attention.
What?
Matthew, calm down. Audrey is your...
Nothing. She's my nothing, Papa.
What's gotten into you, man? I was horrified when I saw what he had in his hand. It was my diary. Oh my God, no!
After all this effort we've been making for you, this is what you really think of us? You suck.
Matthew, enough. What are you talking about?
Oh, let me read it out loud, Papa. This place is hell on earth. I hate their food, their language, this house. Carlos is so loud and annoying. Why is he so desperate to be my dad? Probably because his own son is a loser with half a brain. They're both stupid and I deserve better.
There was a pin-drop silence as everyone stared at me. You should have never taken my diary, you jerk. And yes, I wrote this, but that's when I first came here. I was having a really hard time adjusting. I was just mad, and I didn't really mean it. This is not how I feel now, Carlos. Mom, I promise, I really like being part of this family.
You're not part of this family, Audrey, and you never will be.
And before I could stop myself, I said the stupidest thing ever. Oh, shut up, Matthew. You're not part of this family either, 'cause you're adopted. It was something Mom had told me once, and Matthew didn't know about it. Now he did, because I just blurted it out. Carlos turned white, and Mom looked raging mad.
What a lame thing to say, Audrey. As if. Tell her, Papa. Papa, why do you look like that?
Oh, Matthew, I meant to tell you. On your 16th birthday. I promised I was going to, son.
Matthew looked stunned. Carlos walked over to him, but suddenly he just pushed him aside and ran out. Carlos went after him while Mom turned to me.
I raised you better than this, Audrey, but it seems you're more like your dad, hurting good people for no reason, hurting your family. I'm so disappointed in you. Party's over, everyone.
As the guests started leaving, I ran to my room in tears. I felt terrible. Even if Matthew had read my diary, I'd done something 10 times worse. And the next day, I was back to being the alien of the house. Nobody was talking to me, and I deserved it. Matthew wouldn't even look at me in school. Anytime I went near him, he walked the other way. I tried for days to make it up to him. One evening, I sneaked into his room, finished his history paper, and left it on his desk. When he came home, he took one look at it, tore it up, and threw it in the trash. Then I had an idea for a gift that I was sure would make him forgive me. I used all my savings to get him a signed basketball from his favorite player. But when I looked into his room later, I was horrified to find him slashing it with a paper cutter. Oh my God, what are you doing? This was signed by...
I don't care. I just want you to stop doing things for me and stay out of my face.
How do I make you believe that I'm really sorry, Matthew? I'll say it in Spanish. Lo siento mucho.
There's nothing you can ever say or do that will make things okay. Now please, get lost.
It just looked like things were ruined between us for good. But one evening, I was walking a few blocks away from our house when I saw 2 boys wearing masks drag Matthew into an alley and start beating him up. I charged at them while screaming, and with the baseball bat I had, I hit one of the boys straight in the knee while the other one ran away. Leo, don't you dare touch my brother again, estúpida. I left him there crying on the ground and helped Matthew up. He leaned on me as we walked back home, and as soon as we entered, Mom and Carlos cried out.
Oh my God, what happened?
Papa, I'm fine, really. Thanks to Audrey. But why were you going around with a baseball bat anyway?
I've been following you everywhere for days, Matthew. Leo came up to me a week ago and said he would do something to make you pay for exposing him at his party. I knew you wouldn't really listen to me, so I had to do something. I couldn't let you get hurt. I've done a pretty good job of that myself. Suddenly, Carlos stepped forward and hugged me.
Mija, amor. You saved my son today, and I want to forget everything else. I know you didn't mean those things.
And I'm okay about knowing about the adoption, Audrey. It came as a shock, but Dad and I have talked a lot about it since, and I'm fine. It doesn't really change anything. You don't always have to be related to be family.
I understand that now, and I'm so happy Mom brought me to you guys. I'm sorry about everything. And Carlos, you're the dad every girl wants to have. I love you! Carlos had tears and hugged me. Mom did too.
Don't forget me.
Hi, my name is Ishar, and I'm from Seattle. Please like and subscribe. I was born to a single mom who used to travel from one place to another, entertaining people on the streets. And after I was born, I became part of her gang too. She'd wrap herself in bandages and dress me up in shabby clothes. And then we'd go out and put on little acts in front of people. I'd feel weird about this, but seeing Mom's face light up after getting the money from people would make me happy too.
Oh, honey, ever since you've come into my life, I've been bathing in riches. You're so lucky for me.
Mom adored me and often took me to parks and picnics, and we'd put on our little acts there too. Our life was perfect, but there was one issue. I couldn't speak. No matter how hard I tried, not even a single word would come out of my mouth. And it really upset me.
Honey, you're gonna be fine. We love you just the way you are.
But when I was 7, I discovered something really shocking. Like always, Mom asked me to put on an act and faint in front of an approaching bicycle one evening. But surprisingly, the man went all bonkers on us.
Get the kid out of my way, you morons!
OMG! What have you done to my daughter?
I know people like you, frauds. You rob innocent people like this. But I'm not gonna fall for your act.
Suddenly, a crowd gathered and Mom broke into tears, and I couldn't keep still. I got up and hugged.
Look, she's totally fine.
Huh? So you want my mute daughter to die now? You heartless jerk!
But the fight just got worse, and in all that chaos, I somehow let out a loud scream. Stop! Everyone turned to me.
They are frauds. The girl's not mute. catch them!
Mom grabbed me and we ran from there. But when we reached our van, she looked at me suspiciously.
Why didn't you tell me you could talk? I'm the one who tricks people, but you've been tricking me this whole time.
She did what? I had so many questions, but again, I couldn't speak. Later, she took me to a doctor and we discovered that I was just a late speaker. And with practice, I could speak like the other kids. But my happiness was incomplete, 'cause now I knew the reality. My mom was a con artist who made fools out of people and took money from them.
Come on, baby, we're getting late. And this time, make sure you don't shout or scream. You're a good girl, right?
No, and I'm not going anywhere.
What? Why?
You liar! Bad!
How can you say that? Honey, I had no means to raise you. That's why I got into this business. And now you're saying I'm bad. Do you know if I stop doing this, you're gonna have to give up on so many things? All your favorite foods and trips. Can you do that?
Well, maybe she really had no option. But I knew that this was wrong, and I refused to be a part of it anymore. I told her to stop with the stupid acts and get me into school, or I'd go to the police. So we shifted to Seattle, and their mom got me enrolled in a public school. I made tons of friends, and I was the happiest there. But then, in the 7th grade, things took a wild turn. A woman named Mrs. Miller came knocking on the door and claimed that she was my birth mom.
That's rubbish! She's my daughter!
The woman told us that she'd discovered some years back that I got exchanged at birth, and ever since then, she'd been looking for me.
I don't believe you! You look like some fraud to me, and believe me when I say I can smell them.
Mom!
I know it's hard to trust me, but I'm sure you're my daughter, Ishar. Please give me a chance to prove it.
But Mom pushed her out, and I felt really uneasy about this. What if she was actually telling the truth? And then a few days later, the unthinkable happened. Cops came to our house and arrested my mom. Wait, what are you doing? My mom's innocent. But the cops showed me CCTV footage, and it turned out Mom had robbed a bank this time, and now she was gonna serve time in jail. As a result, I was sent to a foster home, and it broke my heart. It was worse than prison, and I was ready to run out of there. But then Mrs. Miller came to see me there one day.
Oh, Ishar. I saw everything that's happened on the news, and I didn't want to leave you alone, dear.
She tried hugging me, but I pushed her away. My own mom lied to me. I wasn't going to trust some stranger now.
I know you can't trust me, but I don't want you to live in such a place when your mom can take care of you. And I will get you the proof you need.
Mrs. Miller kept persisting, so I agreed to get a DNA test. And just like she'd said, the results were a match, and she was indeed my birth mom. I was super shocked by this revelation. And moving in with her seemed so much better than rotting in this filthy place. So I agreed, and she took me to a palace-like house. My birth mom was freaking rich.
This is going to be your home now, sweetie. But I need you to promise me something. The girl who was switched with you, Young Hee. I haven't told her about any of this yet. I've loved her like my own child, and I want more time to speak with her about this. Okay?
I promised not to say a word about it, but as we entered, a cute little boy bumped into me, and we both fell on our butts flat.
Ouch! That hurt.
Hey, are you okay? I helped him up, and Mrs. Miller told me that he was my younger brother, Jeremy. And indeed, we looked so much alike. But he seemed really shy and ran away. Later during dinner, Mrs. Miller introduced me to Young Hee.
A distant relative? But how come I've never heard about her, Mom?
Because she lived very far away, honey. But now Ishar's gonna stay with us for a while, and I want you guys to be good to her, okay?
Don't worry, I'm gonna take good care of her, and we're gonna be like besties.
Young Hee seemed like a very nice girl. She showed me around the house and even let me borrow some of her gorgeous dresses.
I'm having a sleepover tonight with my friends, and we're going to have so much fun.
And she was right. It was a blast. Everyone loved me and kept complimenting me.
Your cousin is amazing, Young Hee. You should invite her to all our sleepovers. And I guess we won't even miss you because she's so much more fun.
Gosh, these girls were so funny and crazy. They asked me some questions about my family, and I came up with some random lies. But Young Hee looked a bit suspicious. The next few days were amazing. Mrs. Miller would take me out shopping and we'd have so much fun getting to know each other. She even took me to her workplace. And I got this proud feeling knowing that she was a top lawyer in a huge firm. And soon I wanted to be just like her. But that night when I was asleep, I heard some strange noise in my room and saw someone going through my stuff. It was Young Hee. What are you doing here?
Oh, well, I was just checking up on you. Go back to sleep.
Saying that she rushed out of the room. But I felt really uneasy, and I couldn't sleep after that, so I went downstairs to the kitchen for water. And there I found Jeremy hiding behind the kitchen counter, binging on ice cream and cookies. Caught you!
No! Please don't tell anyone I was here. I swear I didn't eat anything.
Hey, it's okay. I'm not telling anyone. Relax. After he calmed down, I asked him what was wrong.
I binge eat when I'm nervous about anything.
What are you nervous about, Jeremy?
I always fail all my subjects and all my friends make fun of me. And we have tests coming up. It's freaking me out.
What if I helped you with your studies?
Really?
Yeah! Then we can teach those nasty kids a lesson so they won't ever pick on you again.
You're so amazing, sis.
Saying that, he hugged me tight. And after that, I'd spend all my evenings teaching Jeremy in his room. Over time, I discovered that we had so much in common, and we bonded so well together.
I'm so happy to see you guys getting along, Ishar.
Yeah, I've been helping him study, but I guess he's too exhausted for the day, so I'll go now. I was leaving the room, but just then, Mrs. Miller took my hand gently.
It's a good thing that I never gave up on looking for you. I'm so glad you're here, my daughter.
I'm glad too, Mom. When I said Mom, her eyes lit up and she hugged me tight. Then a week later, I started school, and all of Young Hee's friends were so happy to see me there.
Who's the gorgeous girl? Young Hee. Why don't you introduce us?
Well, I'm not sure either. Why don't you go ask her?
Saying that, she ignored me and went away with her friends. But I didn't like her being this way with me. So later that night, I went to ask her. Hey, what's the matter? You've been acting weird lately.
Yeah, that's because I know something's up. And you and Mom are both lying to us.
Oh, really? Is that why you were going through my stuff the other day?
Don't act, Ishar. Nothing you say ever matches up. And it's been so many days, and no family member ever calls you. What are you hiding?
I knew she'd figure out something was up sooner or later, but I couldn't tell her anything now, so I just left. Soon, it was our birthday, and Mom decided to throw a huge party for both of us. And I got a really awesome gift for Young Hee to make things up with her again. Hey, you look so pretty. I got this for you and I'm sure you're gonna love it. She opened the box and her eyes lit up.
I've got something even better for you. That's gonna blow your mind.
I wasn't quite sure what she meant till something terrible happened at the party. While everyone was enjoying themselves, Young Hee got onto the stage and grabbed the mic.
Hey everyone! As you all know, it's my birthday. But it's also Ishar's birthday. And I've got a great surprise for her. But before that, you should all know who Ishar is.
Saying that, a slideshow opened on a screen behind her, and it had pictures of my mom and all the news about her being a con artist and a robbery.
That's Ishar's mom, and Ishar's a fraud just like her.
Young Hee, stop this nonsense at once.
Oh, this ain't nonsense, Mom. This is the truth. And now I want to know why you brought this street rat here and hid it from me.
You're such a horrible person, Young Hee.
Ah, do you want to cry like a little baby?
Stop it, don't hurt her. She isn't the con woman's daughter. You are.
Suddenly, a loud silence swept across the room.
Have you lost it? Jeremy, what are you talking about?
Stop hurting Ishar, she's my real sister.
No, Jeremy, stop.
Young Hee looked at Mom with questioning eyes.
What? What is Jeremy saying, Mom?
Mom remained silent, and the look on Young Hee's face changed, and she ran to her room. After that, Mom asked all the guests to leave.
Jeremy, how did you know this?
Once I heard you talking on the phone about how you were looking for your daughter who got exchanged. And that night when you came into my room, I wasn't sleeping and I heard Ishar was my real sister.
Oh, Jeremy, but you shouldn't have said this in front of everyone.
You were crying and Young Hee was hurting you, so...
I immediately went up to Young Hee's room, but she wouldn't let anyone in. Even Mom tried talking to her, but she didn't come out of her room for a few hours, and I decided to break in through the window. But when I got there, I saw she was lying unconscious on the floor. We immediately rushed her to the hospital, and the doctor said she was all right, but she just passed out because of shock. Later that night, when she gained consciousness, I was right next to her.
What are you doing? Get away from me!
Young Hee, calm down! I know it's a big shock for you, and I could understand how you feel, but please listen to me.
I don't want to hear anything! Ishar, I hate you! I'm gonna lose all my family and my home because of you!
You're not losing anything, okay? Mom's loved you for so long and brought you up like her own daughter. How can you even think that she'd replace you?
Isher's right, Young-hee. You're my daughter and my family, and you're always going to stay here with us.
But Isher's your real daughter. Isn't that why you brought her here? And now even Jeremy loves her more than me.
She is my daughter. But so are you. I love you both equally.
Yeah, I love you both equally too. I'm sorry for what I did.
So you promise you're never gonna let me go, and I'll always be important to you?
I promise, honey.
Suddenly, she pulled Mom in for a tight hug. And I joined too.
You guys, I'm here too.
Come on then. What are you waiting for? Hi, I'm Gabrielle, but everyone calls me Gabby. But before I continue my story, click like and subscribe. I've been hearing the story of my birth from Mom ever since I can remember.
Oh, you were so lazy. You came out 3 weeks after my due date, and you were almost 12 pounds. My arms would hurt after holding you for a minute.
You were worth the wait, Gabby. You were just the cutest baby ever. And you still are.
Dad adored me, and so did my older twin siblings. I'm sure Mom loved me too, but she had a funny way of showing it. Once, when I was 3, everyone was eating pizza for dinner, but Mom just kept popping boiled carrots in my mouth. I suddenly leapt onto the table and bit into her pizza slice. She pulled it away, but I clung onto it like a puppy.
What are you doing? Let Gabby have pizza. Come here, sweetie. I'll give you the biggest slice.
Mom looked mad.
She doesn't need more calories. You're turning my daughter into an elephant.
But I didn't care. I was eating pizza. Once on Halloween, I went trick-or-treating with my siblings and came home with my bag full. Everyone said I was so cute, and they gave me extra candy. But Mom snatched it from me.
That's going to make you fat. Just give them to me and leave.
I was really sad that she took it away, but Dad snuck me a few pieces every night. Growing up, Dad and I read lots of books together, and in the 1st grade, I started writing poetry. My teacher entered one of my poems in a school competition, and I won 2nd prize. Dad was so proud, he had it framed for his office. At Thanksgiving dinner, he asked me if I'd recite my poem for everyone, and I was happy to. As everyone clapped for me, grumpy Auntie Polly walked in.
Good God, child. You look like you're about to burst out of your clothes. You've gotten so fat.
That's the first time I saw Dad get really mad.
How dare you say that? She's just a child, and she's perfect.
With that, he picked me up and told my family that we were leaving. In the 5th grade, we were at the beach once, and I was going around happily in my new pink bathing suit. I went over to some girls my age and asked if I could make sandcastles with them, but one of them rudely pushed me away.
We don't play with fat girls. You're ugly.
I burst into tears and ran off, and Dad was furious.
I'm gonna tell those girls exactly what I think. Where are their parents?
Oh, can you stop creating drama everywhere? I told you not to buy her that ridiculous bathing suit, and she does need to lose weight. Of course people will make fun of her.
And that evening, Mom told me I was going on a diet.
Your sibling's 16th birthday is coming up in a few months, and they'll buy you an amazing dress. If you lose some weight, you'll feel so good about yourself.
Later that night, I snuck downstairs to the kitchen and started stuffing my face with crisps and cookies. I had to eat as much as I could before starting Mom's stupid diet. Mom took me to the nutritionist's office the next day, and I instantly disliked Dr. Christine.
Come on, Chubby. Get on the scale. Yes. You're really overweight. You need to lose at least 20 pounds.
Do you think we can manage this by September, Doctor?
It all depends on Gabrielle. But yes, it can be done.
Do you want to lose weight, honey? Do you want to be beautiful for the party?
I remembered the mean girl's words at the beach and said, yeah, I want to be beautiful. So, the nutritionist made a special diet for me, and we had to buy all these expensive products from her. I had to eat some special toasts with special cheese, and it tasted disgusting. As I was making faces at the dinner table, Dad ate some food from my plate and almost threw up.
Why are you making Gabby eat this horrible stuff? Just make her some healthy food. She doesn't need to eat rubbish.
No, Daddy, I want to eat this rubbish. I want to be pretty.
But you already are, sweetheart.
It's It's okay. It's only for a few months. Please.
Don't look at me. She wants to be skinny.
Dad looked kinda sad, but he didn't say anything. After that, I kept doing the awful diet, and I didn't lose an ounce. Not an inch. The day of the big party was approaching, and Mom waited until the very last minute to see if I'd lost some weight. Before she took me shopping, she asked the saleswoman to show us clothes that would look good on me.
Oh, I see what you mean. You want her to look skinny. I might just have the right dress. Why don't you try this? And this? And this?
I tried on all the clothes, and I hated everything. As I was taking off a white dress in the changing room, I overheard something that broke my heart.
How did the dress fit her?
Oh, not very well. That white dress makes the girl look like a small refrigerator. Short and square. I wish she had inherited my figure.
I burst into silent tears. That's what Mom really thought of me. We bought some stupid black dress, and on the day of the party, I held my breath and tucked my tummy in for all the pictures. I just felt ugly and miserable. Being fat didn't affect my ability to love, though. I was falling in love at school all the time, but I'd grown up too insecure and shy to ever ask anyone out, and, well, no one ever noticed me. In the 9th grade, I fell madly in love with James, this gorgeous boy who was 2 years older than me. He played basketball, and I'd watch him from a distance and write poems about him. One day at lunch, someone tapped me on the shoulder, and I almost fell off my seat when I saw it was James.
Hey, you dropped this paper in the hall. Did you write this poem yourself? It's really good.
I just stared at him like a dumb goldfish, and seconds later, a skinny girl took his arm and led him away. I crumpled up the paper and threw it away angrily. Of course, he had a girlfriend who looked like a freaking model. Just then, this annoying bully Aaron from my class sat next to me with a grin.
Ah, Chubby Gabby! You like James, don't you? I've seen how you stare at him every day.
I do not.
I don't care. Girl, you want to get noticed by someone like him? You should hang out with me. I'm like the most popular guy around. Come to a party at my place tonight. James will be there too, and I'll introduce you guys.
But he has a girlfriend.
Oh, that's not his girlfriend. Trust me, he's single.
That offer was too tempting to resist. So I went to the party that evening, and when I got there, the first thing I saw was James dancing with that girl. Aaron, I think those two are together. This is stupid. I'm just gonna go home.
Oh, poor dummy. You don't know the first thing about guys, do you? Give him something to be jealous about, like this.
And suddenly, Aaron pulled me in and kissed me. I immediately shoved him away.
What's wrong with you, Gabrielle? You just show up uninvited at my party, begging to kiss me. Does being fat make you needy and desperate for love?
I stared at him in horror as I felt everyone's eyes on me. You liar! I'd rather kiss a monkey's bud. I gave him a hard slap and then I ran away from there. But since Aaron was a popular jerk, he made sure I became known as the fat, desperate girl, and my self-esteem hit rock bottom. Suddenly, I just lost my appetite and stopped eating. Dad was worried and kept asking me what was wrong, but Mom was delighted when I got skinny.
Wow, Gabby, you look amazing. Want to go shopping?
No, I'm good, thanks.
But you're in those big clothes.
Fat clothes, you mean?
Why are you talking to me like that? What did I do to you?
Nothing, Mom. You're just perfect. When I went off to college, I finally made some friends there. Suddenly, I fit in the clothes I fit in with others. But then I discovered something. No one here cared about my looks. People were interested in my poetry and the things I had to say, not the way I was on the outside. For the first time, I felt I could breathe. I started relaxing, eating more, and having fun. When I went home for Christmas, I took my coat off and found Mom staring at me like a hawk.
Gabby, did you gain weight?
I don't know, Mom. I didn't check.
But it's such a shame that you're getting fat again, honey. You have to be careful.
So what if I get fat? Will I be ugly, useless, worthless?
What's wrong with you? Are you upset about something?
Mom, I'm mad at you. You made me feel my entire life that being fat is the worst thing in the world. That it's the only thing that defines you. But it's not.
I was only looking out for you. I want you to be healthy.
Are you sure? Because I was unhealthy and miserable when I got skinny, and you weren't bothered about that. The only thing you ever wanted for me was to be pretty, no matter what the cost. You've just never loved me the way I am.
That's not true. I care a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure you care, Mom. Just not in the way that's any good for me. I'm leaving.
Well, we're coming with you. I'd like to enjoy a family dinner for once.
I turned around to see my dad and siblings looking really angry at Mom. We all left without her, and we had an amazing Christmas dinner at a restaurant. As Dad dropped me off at college, he put his hands on my face and said,
I'm so proud of how smart and strong you are. And I'm glad you're realizing your own worth. You are and always will be perfect to me.
Time passed, and I gained and lost weight all the time. And even though my confidence was better, I still had a hard time believing that someone could love me just the way I was. But one day, someone tapped my shoulder at the supermarket.
Hey, Gabrielle, right?
Oh yeah, hi, I'm sorry. Who are you?
James from school, remember? I think I was your senior. I recognized you because you still have those beautiful eyes.
Oh my God, it was James, the James! We went out for coffee the same day and talked for hours over chocolate cake. I even shared the poems I was writing for my first book. It was perfect. And soon after, we started dating. Slowly, but surely, I was changing and fixing the damage. My mother still gives opinions about my body all the time, but she no longer affects me. I finally understood that her problem was about her own insecurities. Now I love myself just the way I am when I'm skinny and when I'm fat. Also, I have this wonderful man next to me who isn't shallow at all. He knows how to love unconditionally. After so much suffering, I now know I am beautiful no matter what. Hi, my name is Pearl. Please like and subscribe. My parents were one of the richest people in the city. And when I was born, everyone gasped at how amazingly beautiful I was. And since I was their only child, my parents treated me like a princess. Agu agu.
Oh my gosh, honey, our daughter said her first words.
Let's throw a party.
They were just crazy about me. I had hundreds of maids to feed me, bathe me, walk me, and even comb my hair.
Oh my gosh, you broke my darling girl's hair. Do you have any idea what this hair is worth? It's worth millions.
Of course, Mom overreacted a lot. She would even fire the maids if my milk was not the right temperature, and Dad was no less. When I turned 5, he ordered the servants to redecorate my room. And you won't believe it, he changed everything to gold and diamonds, including my toilet seat. Not only that, but I had different dresses and shoes to wear every day. And the driver would drop me off to school in my favorite red Lamborghini. I felt like a true princess. And honestly, I loved it. But there was someone who hated every bit of the life that I lived. Melissa. She was the meanest girl in my class, and she hated me for, well, everything. She will steal my doll and throw it into the mud. Once, she even trashed all of my notebooks. But school wasn't the only place that I had to bear her. Her were friends with mine, and I often saw her at sleepovers and parties too. On my 14th birthday, Mom and Dad threw me a grand party and invited all of their rich friends. And of course, Melissa came with her parents too. When I walked down the stairs, everyone looked stunned by my beauty. Everyone but Melissa. Her face turned red like a tomato.
Good Lord, your daughter is so pretty. I think I'm gonna marry her to my son.
Ew! No, there was no way that I was gonna marry his stupid son, Xander. But I wasn't the only one who was mad about it. Melissa had always dreamed of becoming super rich by marrying Xander, because his dad was the richest man in the city, and she looked super pissed at this comment. But then suddenly, her facial expressions changed, and she walked up to me with a smile.
Hey Pearl, happy birthday. Here is a gift from me.
What? Was there a bomb in there? But then when I opened the box, a kitten jumped out of it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I loved it, but why was Melissa being so nice to me? All of a sudden, something didn't feel right. Later that night, when everyone left, I was playing with my cute little kitten when suddenly it scratched my face with its paw. Ah! Melissa's cat turned out to be just like her. Evil. Mom and Dad came rushing out when they heard my screams. They rushed me to a hospital, but even after weeks of treatments and several procedures, the scar didn't go away. Now I had no choice but to live with it and cover it with makeup. When I went back to school, Melissa was waiting to mess with me again, but thank God she had no idea about my scar, or she would make my life a nuisance.
Move, Pearl. This is my seat. And just because you're rich doesn't mean you own everything.
Well, I do own a lot of things, but I don't see your name on it either. She got super pissed, and she was about to throw her plate of food in my face when Xander cut in and stopped her.
Hey, stay away from my girl. Pearl, stop messing with her.
My girl? What's going on? I'm not your girl. Are you crazy?
Oh, my sweet Pearl. Don't you remember what my dad said on your birthday? We're gonna be married eventually.
What? We're just 14. Are you crazy?
There is no way you can marry him, Pearl. I won't let that happen.
Well, I won't let that happen either. Now get away from me, both of you. God, these guys were so crazy. It was such a headache going to school every day and seeing them. Especially Xander. He was such a pain in the butt. He'd flirt with me all the time and scare away all of the other guys who ever tried to talk to me. I hated every bit of my junior year, up until the teacher introduced an exchange Korean student to the class. His name was Mino, and gosh, he was so handsome. The teacher asked me to help him with the syllabus, and while we were studying in the library one day, Xander came marching at us.
Who do you think you are, sitting here with my girlfriend?
Saying that, he suddenly grabbed my hand.
You're coming with me, Pearl.
Stay away from me, Xander. I'm not your girlfriend. Just then, Mino cut in and punched him in the face.
You should have just let her go.
Oh my gosh, his deep voice and those fierce eyes. I instantly fell in love with him. He was so amazing. Xander ran from there like a scaredy cat. And I thanked Mino for saving me from that jerk. To which he smiled and said,
Well, I can see he's a jerk, but you're so pretty. Anyone would go crazy for you.
Oh my gosh, he thought that I was pretty. My cheeks turned red and I almost melted. After that, Mino and I spend most of our time reading in the library together. It was so much fun just to sit next to him and admire all of those books. Months felt like days with him, and I couldn't believe that a year had passed with him. Then one day, while I was having lunch at the cafeteria, Xander came up to me and started acting up all of a sudden.
You think you're gonna be happy with that stupid jerk? He's a loser.
Well, last I saw, you were the one who got punched.
That's because I just didn't hit the gym that day. But anyways, I won't let him take you away from me, Pearl.
You don't own me, Xander. Now get lost. But before I could complete my sentence, Melissa threw a can of juice in my face.
Stay away from my guy, you witch. Don't you already have a guy now?
Melissa, have you lost it?
Drop the act, you boyfriend stealer.
But then suddenly, I realized my makeup, my scar. I pushed past her and ran to the washroom immediately. But to my horror, I ran straight into Mino. His eyes widened as he looked at me. Oh no!
Why are you all wet? Who did this to you?
What? Did he see my scar? Or was it that he just didn't care?
Tell me who did this. I'm gonna teach them a lesson.
No, Mino. It's fine. I just tripped. I couldn't believe that he got so mad seeing me hurt. And he didn't mention anything about my scar. Like it was totally normal. Gosh, he was such a darling. I couldn't resist it anymore. I pulled him in for our first kiss and wow, it was magical. After that, we started officially dating. And I felt like the happiest person on earth. But not for long. Mom, what's wrong? Why are you crying?
It's your dad, honey. He had a heart attack.
Oh my gosh, Mom, what happened? Where is he? Mom told me that Dad lost all his money in a bad investment, and now we're almost bankrupt. Dad didn't take the news so well, and he ended up in the hospital. After that, I stayed at home for almost a week until Dad recovered, and I didn't tell Mino so he wouldn't worry. Then one day, all of a sudden, Mom and Dad asked me to accompany them to a party. But Dad, you just got discharged. But they insisted that I tag along anyway, and they asked me to doll up and put on my best dress. But when we got there, Xander's dad made an announcement that almost gave me a heart attack.
Hello, everyone. It brings me great joy to announce the engagement of my son, Xander, with my friends, daughter, Pearl. Please, everyone, give the couple a big hand.
And with that, Mom started dragging me onto the stage. What? Mom? Wait, what's going on? Is this some sort of joke?
Oh, honey, please don't be mad. It's the only chance that we have to save our company and our home. Besides, Xander is such a nice guy.
No, Mom. Xander's a jerk, and I am not doing this.
Oh, honey, but look at your dad. He's so happy. The doctor said that he wouldn't survive another heart attack. Do you want him to leave us forever?
I looked at Dad, and indeed he looked happy. And although I loved Mino so much, I couldn't let my dad die either. So I had to choose my parents' happiness over mine. A few days later, when I went to school, I found out that Xander had told everyone about our engagement, including Mino, and he looked furious.
Tell me this is all a lie. Tell me you didn't want any part of this. Just tell me.
But I couldn't tell him the truth. Mino, I love Xander, and that's why I'm marrying him.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm not. He's rich, and who doesn't want money? I knew that he loved me, and that my words would break his heart, but I had no choice but to lie. After hearing what I said, he backed off, and he left, and he never looked at me again. Finally, on our wedding day, when I felt like everything was gonna be fine, things took a wild turn. I heard Mom and Dad talking about something I had never imagined in my worst nightmare.
Stop eating so much. You're gonna have another gastric attack, and it's your daughter's wedding day.
Well, thanks to my gastric attack, Pearl agreed to the marriage, thinking it was a heart attack. Otherwise, there was no way of getting her to agree to this, and we would have remained poor for the rest of our lives.
What? You guys lied to me? How could you? Mom started crying and tried to stop me.
Please, honey, please understand that
I sacrificed my happiness because of you guys. And you, I hate you. I stormed out of the wedding venue, throwing the wedding ring at Xander's face when I met him on my way out.
Stop. Pearl, where are you going? Wait, you're the one leaving? Really? I know all about your ugly scar, and I still want you. You stupid girl, this is how you pay me back.
What? You knew?
Yeah, dumbhead, I knew. So come back here and kiss me right now, or I'll make you regret it.
He got closer and tried to pull me to him, but I slapped him hard and left. I wasn't gonna wait or listen to anyone anymore. I had to find Mino and tell him that I loved him. I called his friends, but they told me that he was at a BTS concert at the MetLife Stadium. Really? Of all places, a BTS concert? I rushed to the stadium, and I ran backstage to grab a mic and shout out my confession to him. But oh my gosh, I couldn't believe my eyes when I ran into all of the BTS members. It was like I was dreaming.
What are you doing here?
Why are you dressed like that? Do you need some help?
Of course, I wish that the time would stop right there and then, but I had to find the love of my life. I told them about my situation, and I asked them to help me. And they did. They were so nice. They allowed me to go on stage and talk to Mino. I was really nervous, but then I gathered all of my courage to speak. Mino, I'm so sorry that I lied to you, but the truth is that I love you and I can't live without you. Please forgive me. My eyes filled with tears as I confessed my love for him. And then I saw him running towards me through the crowd. He jumped up on stage and he kissed me. The crowd cheered for us as he lifted me up in his arms and he whispered into my ears.
I love you too, Pearl.
Hi, I'm Kaylee from LA. Please like and subscribe. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always loved to sing. My grandma was a professional singer. She sang around the world with the most prestigious orchestras and operas. I miss her and her voice so much. When I got to 10th grade, I became the singer of the family. I went to the most prestigious performing arts school on the West Coast. My favorite class was music, of course, and my favorite club so far was show choir. We had been the best in the state for 14 years, with the trophies to prove it. My best friend, Addison, is also in show choir with me. He and I met in kindergarten and have been inseparable ever since. He's the funniest guy I've ever known. He's also gotten pretty cute over the years too. Or at least that's what all the girls in school think. But I just don't see him that way. Hard to see someone that way when they used to sneak over from next door and put frogs in your bed. Yuck! One day, our show choir teacher, Ms. Conrad, had big news for us.
We've been asked to compete at this year's National Show Choir competition.
All right.
Yeah! But to ensure we get top scores, the soloists will have to be chosen very carefully.
Ms. Conrad told us that we were going to have to audition for the big solo right in front of each other in 1 week. My nemesis, Heidi, started bragging in front of the whole group.
We all know who's gonna get it! Me, of course. Everyone knows I have the stage presence of a star.
I don't know. I think Kaylee might give you a run for your money. She's got star power and the voice to match.
The others' eyes widened. Were they about to fight? Just then, the bell rang. As everyone left the class, I swatted Addison on the arm. Don't start fights with Heidi. She's my biggest competition.
That's exactly why you have to stand up for yourself in front of her.
I just don't want anyone to think I think I'm better than her.
Well then, I guess that's why I'm here. To remind them for you.
Oh, what would I do without you?
Good thing we'll never have to find out.
I was so nervous, even though I'd sung in front of our choir before. But the pressure was on the whole week leading up to auditions. I practiced in the shower, in the bathroom, between classes. I really wanted to beat out Heidi for the big solo at the end of the show. Finally, Audition day arrived. I woke up, put on my cutest outfit, curled my hair, and took extra time with my makeup. After all, if I'm gonna be a big star one day, I might as well start dressing like it now. When I stepped out of my house to walk to school with Addison, his cheeks turned super red. What's wrong?
Nothing, you just look different is all. Your hair is.
Oh no! Does it look bad? Maybe I should have worn it up. I'll just go chance.
No, leave it. You look good. Great.
When I arrived in class, Heidi was sitting in the front row, looking totally perfect. What was I thinking? With her shiny hair, big eyes, and as much as I hated to admit it, her beautiful voice. Why would anyone ever look twice at me? But I just tried to remember what my grandma would always say.
It's not about who sings the loudest or looks the prettiest. As long as your song comes from your heart, people can't help but listen.
So I took a deep breath and sat down next to Heidi, right in the front row. She gave me a once-over and rolled her eyes. Who cared what she thought? I knew I looked great. Ms. Conrad sat down at the piano and called Heidi up first. After she finished singing, I applauded politely along with everyone else. Then it was my turn. I stood confidently and turned to face everyone. Addison gave me a thumbs up from the back row. Such a good friend! Ms. Conrad played the opening notes for my song when suddenly the door to the classroom burst open behind me. I turned to look, and standing in the doorway was the most handsome boy I'd ever seen. Tall, with long brown hair that felt perfectly into his eyes. He looked just like a fairy tale prince. My jaw dropped. He handed a note to Ms. Conrad.
Class, this is our newest addition, Patrick.
He waved to everyone, then put his hand on my shoulder, looked deep into my eyes, and said,
I'm so sorry I interrupted your audition. Knock 'em dead.
Then he took my seat right in the front row. I gulped. Oh, now I was nervous again. I shook off my nerves, took a deep breath, and nodded to Ms. Conrad as she played. I could feel the music filling me up all the way to the top. I opened my mouth to sing and let my song come from my heart. When I finished, the whole class burst into applause. I felt like I was walking on air. Patrick got up to sing something last minute. He was so good. The next day, Ms. Conrad put up the list and I had gotten the solo. And she'd even added a duet in the middle of the show for Patrick to sing with me.
Looks like it's you and me, Kaylee. I'm so honored to be singing with someone as talented as you.
I felt my cheeks turn red, and he grinned.
You're so cute when you blush like that. Be careful, or I might just fall in love.
He walked away with a wink at me. I couldn't believe he'd just said that. And neither could Heidi, who'd been listening around the corner.
Don't get too comfy with that solo. Once Miss Conrad figures out that you'll cave at the first sign of pressure, I'll be ready to step in.
Eavesdrop much? Jealousy isn't your color, Heidi. The next day, we started rehearsing for nationals. Everyone was working so hard, and Patrick and I sounded great together. But when it came to our dance, it was like I'd suddenly grown a second left foot.
No, Kaylee, no. Once more from the top.
Miss Conrad, I'm happy to come up front and show Kaylee how it's done.
Not necessary, but thank you, Heidi.
Just here for the team.
After I knocked Patrick over by mistake for the third time, Ms. Conrad called it a day.
Kaylee, please go home and practice.
Ugh! I could have wiped that smug look off of Heidi's face. Everyone went to start packing up their bags, and I started to head backstage to get my bag when Patrick came up to me.
Hey, gorgeous. Want to stay and practice a little with me? Then it'll be perfect by tomorrow.
Oh, I wouldn't want to impose. Your toes must be all bruised.
That's okay. I really don't mind. And I wouldn't mind spending a little quality time with my co-star.
Well, if you insist. Just then, Addison came up to us.
Hey, Kaylee, ready to go?
That's okay. I should really practice a little longer.
I can practice with you. I could use a few run-throughs myself.
Oh, well, Patrick already offered to stay behind and practice with me here.
He did he? How are you gonna get home?
I can drive her.
Oh, do you live in our neighborhood?
No, but...
I mean, if it's not really convenient for you.
I'm not spending time with Kaylee because it's convenient.
Neither am I.
I'm spending time with her because she's cool.
My face turned bright red. Did he really mean that? Addison, I'm gonna stay here too. Just for a bit to practice. I'll see you later, okay?
Fine. If you insist, I'll see you when you get home.
He turned on his heel and walked out. Patrick turned to me with a grin on his face and held out his hand.
Shall we?
We practiced more, and I was finally getting good. Patrick swung me out for our final spin, then pulled me in close and dipped me. That's when I noticed his face was just so close. His ice blue eyes staring deep into mine. Was he gonna kiss me? Just then, all the lights in the theater went out. Patrick dropped me in shock and I shrieked. All of a sudden, the lights came back on, and Ms. Conrad stepped back on stage.
Oh, hey, kids. I am so sorry I didn't realize you were still here.
Ugh, I couldn't believe she'd interrupted our moment. Still, we waved goodbye to her and headed out. A little while later, when Patrick dropped me off, he got out of his car to open my door. Such a gentleman!
It was nice hanging out tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, superstar.
Then he wrapped his arms around me and gave me a big hug. Is this what heaven smelled like? Then I headed up the front walk to my door.
So, do you like him or something?
I whipped around and saw Addison waiting on our front porch swing. I don't know, maybe. He's so cute and really talented.
Okay, cool. I guess, do you still want to practice?
That's okay. I think I got it now.
Okay then. Well then, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Here, I got you a milkshake.
Hey, thanks! He started crossing the yard towards his house. Is it?
Cookies and cream. Your favorite.
Thanks, I'll see you tomorrow.
You know it.
Then it was finally time for nationals. As we arrived at the concert hall, I was overwhelmed by all the other groups here and overheard one girl say to another,
She was a little flat at the end.
I couldn't believe it! What if I lost us the whole competition? All night and throughout all our warm-ups the next day. It was all I could think about. If I messed up again, I'd be letting everyone down, including myself. And there were several famous music industry people judging the competition. What if I ended my career as a singer before it even started? And then, it was almost time to go up. I tried to calm down, but I was shaking like a leaf.
Miss Conrad, Kaylee doesn't look so good.
Miss Conrad came over. She looked pretty nervous herself.
Kaylee, you look terrible. Are you going to be able to perform?
Of course
Because if you're sick, I can always put Heidi on.
I'm ready to go, Miss Conrad!
Just then, I spotted Patrick warming up down the hall. I just need a minute! I raced down the hall towards him. He was stretching, shaking out his hands, jumping up and down. Patrick! His expression was so strange. Was he nervous too? I'm so nervous. Do you think we could practice?
Kaylee, I'm kind of busy.
What if we?
I really just need some space here. Kaylee.
Yesterday you said we were a team. That doesn't feel like a team to me.
I can't do this right now. Could you leave me alone?
Fighting back tears, I ran down the hall and found a corner backstage. I couldn't let anyone see me so upset, especially not Ms. Conrad or Heidi. What was I gonna do? Suddenly, Addison stepped out of the shadows. He looked so handsome in his costume.
Kaylee, are you okay?
I threw my arms around him. He caught me and squeezed tight. I'm so nervous. I overheard one of the other teams say I sounded bad. Ms. Conrad is ready to replace me with Heidi. Patrick isn't any help, and there's amazing industry people out there. And ugh!
You sounded amazing in rehearsal. Those other teams were just jealous. Forget about Patrick and Heidi. Remember why you love to sing? What was it your grandma always said?
Sing from your heart.
Exactly. Just do that.
I took a few deep breaths, and Addison was right. Will you just run the last part of the number with me?
Of course.
And there, in our little corner of the theater, we stepped, we twirled, we kicked in time together. Addison took my hand, spun me around, and dipped me low. I felt his arm slip. He was dropping me, but right before I was sure I'd hit the ground, he caught me with a twinkle in his eye. I swatted his arm. You tricked me.
I'd never drop you. And even if I did, I'll always be here to catch you.
Thank you, Addison. Then he smiled at me so genuinely, and my heart fell into my stomach. What was that?
Places, please. Students' places. Kaylee, are you ready?
Yes, Ms. Conrad. As we all rushed to take our spots to start our number, Addison shot me a wink.
Knock 'em dead, superstar.
You too. As soon as the lights came up on stage, I felt a little thrill of excitement. We danced, we sang, we twirled. Everyone had brought their A game. When it came time for my duet with Patrick, we totally nailed it. But any spark that had been there was gone. As the opening chords of my solo began, the lights shined down on me, and I opened my mouth, and the music poured from my heart. I knew my grandma was right there with me. I hit my final note, and held it out forever as everyone finished their steps behind me. As we struck our final pose, the crowd erupted into applause. A standing ovation! I beamed. We totally nailed it. That night, after all the points had been tallied, all the teams gathered on stage behind the judges. Addison reached for my hand and I squeezed back. Thanks for the pep talk. I could have never done it without you.
Of course you could have. I'm just here to remind you.
You're always there for me. He leaned in close, and I felt a flutter in my stomach as he whispered in my ear.
And I always will be, if you let me.
I turned to look directly in his eyes.
Kaylee, I have to tell you.
Just then, the announcer started announcing the winners. Second place, runner-up. Our whole team clasped hands and took a deep breath together.
And the grand prize for this year's National Show Choir competition goes to...
As they said our name, the crowd roared. It was so loud I could hardly think. Confetti rained down on us as Ms. Conrad stepped forward to accept our trophy. I threw my arms around Addison, and he picked me up, swinging me in a circle. We did it! We did it! As we packed up our things in the dressing room and said goodbye to the new friends we'd made at the competition, one of the judges knocked on our dressing room door. He was an exec for a record label back in LA.
I was so impressed with you. Your vocals were so clear and you've got some real presence up there. Give me a call if you think you'd be interested in recording a single.
He handed me his card, and I shook his hand, totally awestruck. Maybe dreams really do come true. I felt so relieved. Not only had I not let everyone down, but I'd made myself proud. On the beach, Addison sat down next to me, running a hand through his hair. When he saw me watching, he grinned, and the butterflies were back.
I'm totally beat, aren't you?
Definitely. I got you something.
Oh yeah?
I pulled out a bag of gummy worms and your favorite.
You're the best, Kay.
He ripped open the bag and dug in. Hey, Addison, what was it you were gonna tell me earlier?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, I have something I want to tell you.
Yeah?
I like you.
Really?
Really.
I like you too. I have for a while now.
Really?
Really.
He took my hand and, I know, my cheeks turned pink.
I got something for you too.
Ooh, okay. I love presents. And then he put his hand on my cheek, leaned in close, and kissed me. It was the perfect end to a perfect day.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and my mom is my best friend. She's amazing. She's a doctor, and she's raising me all by herself. She gives me everything I could want and need. I want to be just like her when I grow up. Do you look up to your mom too? Please don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks! I couldn't wait for school to end. It was my birthday the next day, and Mom said that I was going to get the newest smartwatch after her shift at the hospital, a few blocks away from the mall, when her phone rang.
Dr. Johnson.
A panicky voice from the car speaker said,
Jade is giving birth right now. We're not going to make it to the hospital.
Mom quickly turned a corner. She told the man that she was on her way.
Sorry, honey. It's a good thing that we're close to their house. We can go shopping after.
I quickly nodded. My mom made another call and instructed the hospital to send an ambulance right away. Mom stopped the car and jumped out. I followed her into the house. A very pregnant woman was kneeling beside the couch, and there was a puddle of water under her legs. Mom ran over to the woman and asked her husband for some clean towels.
It's all right, Jade. I'm here, and it's time for you to push.
I watched in awe by the door. The woman was crying and pushing and screaming. Her husband was sweating and running around with a ton of towels. It was chaos. My mom was the only calm person in the room. Suddenly, I heard another sound break through the screens and pants. It was the sound of a crying baby.
She's here. Your daughter has arrived.
Mrs. Jade gasped when my mom handed her the baby. My jaw dropped when I realized that I'd just seen one being born. It was scary and incredible at the same time. The ambulance arrived a few minutes later, and my mom gently patted Jade's hand.
Everything's fine,
she added with a gentle smile.
I'll check in on you at the hospital.
We headed back to our own car. Mom said that we'd have to go home first so she could change.
Are you all right, honey? You look pale.
I guess I did. I was still in shock. You were amazing, Mom. You didn't freak out at all. That woman looked like she was in so much pain. But the moment you handed her the baby, it seemed like she forgot about everything else. My mom squeezed my hand.
That's how I felt when I gave birth to you. It's joy and pain all at once, and it's all worth it.
especially if your child ends up being a wonderful daughter like you.
She added that around 250 babies are born every minute. Wow, that means that there are 250 soon-to-be mothers going into labor right now. I gasped. No wonder my mom was doing so well as an obstetrician. She delivered a new baby every few days. Mom headed for the shower as soon as we got home. While I waited for her, the phone rang. It was my dad. "You're not going to believe what I saw today." And I told him about watching my mom do her work. Dad laughed and proudly proclaimed that my mom was amazing.
When your brother Josh was born, Emma was screaming and miserable too, until she held him in his arms. When can you come and visit anyway? He misses you already.
I promised that I would visit my dad and his new family soon. I loved playing with my half-brother Josh. He was so cute. My dad's wife Emma wasn't so bad, but it still bugged me that my parents had never married and Emma wasn't half as amazing as my mom. After a few weeks, Mom came home looking very excited.
I got promoted. I'm going to be head of the department.
I was so happy for her. And when I found out she wasn't going to be working as much, I was so happy for me too. It meant that we could spend more time together. It was great. We had picnics and played frisbee in the front yard. I was standing by the porch when the frisbee came whizzing my way. I jumped, but I must have landed wrong. The next thing I knew, a lump appeared on my forehead.
"Sarah!"
Mom cried as she ran towards me. "I think I hit my head on the edge of the step. It really hurts." Mom cleaned up my wound. She said it wasn't deep and I just needed to apply pressure to it. She made me some of my favorite mac and cheese and sent me to bed early that night. I remember thinking that I was the luckiest girl in the world for having such an amazing mother. But sadly, our fun times ended that day. The next few months were busy time at the hospital. Mom was rarely home. She left early and came home late. I started to complain about never seeing her anymore. She still keeps giving me gifts, but I didn't want a new camera or another new phone. I just wanted her. I couldn't talk to her anymore because she never had time for me. When I turned 14, things got even worse. Mom couldn't be with me on my birthday. I had to stay with my dad for a few days while Mom was at a conference. I could see that Emma was trying to be nice, but I didn't want her. I wanted my mom.
I made your favorite, mac and cheese.
She proudly said. I took a bite, but I spit it out immediately. Ew! This tastes gross. It's not like Mom's mac and cheese at all. Dad got mad when I said that I gave him the side eye while he and Emma played with little Josh. If he hadn't married that awful Emma, he would have married my mom, and maybe she wouldn't have to work so hard all the time. I was counting down the hours until Mom arrived to pick me up. Then the phone rang. It was Mom, but she said she was running late. I got so mad at her for making me wait again. "When I get home," she said,
"We'll go on a vacation, just the two of us. Okay? I promise. You're gonna have a great time."
But I was sick of her promises. "I don't believe you anymore. I don't care if you don't ever come home. When you're here, you don't even notice me. I wish you weren't my mother." I slammed the phone down and ran to my room. I was so mad at everyone. Dad tried to talk to me, but I didn't open the door. Finally, he left. But after an hour, he was back again.
"Sarah!"
He cried with a voice I'd never heard him use before.
"We have to go to the hospital."
I couldn't believe my ears when he explained that Mom was in the hospital. She had gotten into a car crash just an hour ago. But I just talked to her. I cried. I was so scared the whole time in the waiting room. I was terrified for my mom. And deep down, I knew it was my fault. Mom probably got so upset after I screamed at her. That was the reason she got into a crash. I wanted to tell her that I didn't mean what I said. I wanted to tell her that I loved her so much they wouldn't even let me see her. An hour later, finally, a doctor came out and talked to us.
"I'm sorry, she's in a bad way. We're doing everything we can, but I don't think it's going to be enough. You have to prepare yourself for the worst."
I turned to my dad. Well, what did he mean by that? I gasped. Dad couldn't even look me in the eye. He quietly told me to pray for Mom. I couldn't take it anymore. I knew my mom was suffering, and it was all my fault. I couldn't stop the tears. I stumbled away and ran as fast as my legs could take me to the exit. Outside, I found myself by a bus stop, and I got on the first bus that passed, not caring where it took me, as long as it was far away from here. Hours passed into days. I can't remember how I got where I was. The only real thing I felt was the hard bench I slept on and the gaping hole in my chest where my heart used to be. I was to blame for everything. It hurt so much to remember the last thing I said to her. How could I be such a terrible person after everything my mom had done for me? I was just sitting and staring into space when I heard the scream. Right in front of me, sprawled on the curb, was an older girl with a bleeding forehead. I jumped up and ran over to her. "Hold still. Let me check if it's deep." Thankfully, the wound was shallow. I took off my jacket and told the girl to apply pressure on it. Then I asked if there was a place where we could wash it.
I sleep in the women's shelter. It's just a few blocks away.
The shelter was a dirty place, and it was very crowded. But at least there was running water and soap in the bathroom. After a while, the girl calmed down.
Thanks, I was so scared I thought I'd split my skull open.
For the first time in a long time, I smiled. It felt nice to help someone.
Do you have a place to stay? My name is Maggie. You can stay in the shelter with me if you want.
Maggie and I became friends. She brought me to a soup kitchen where we ate a hot meal. She led me to a church basement so I could find a jacket. Maggie was nice, and for a while I forgot that I was homeless and alone. But no matter what I did, I could never forget the last words I ever spoke to my mom. I told Maggie that I ran away, but I didn't tell her why. Life went on that way for a long time. It was hard to accept my new life, but I had no other choice. The shelter was always full of girls who had run away or who were in trouble. There was a young mom named Stella who had a little boy. She said that she used to have a small apartment and that she worked 3 jobs just to pay for rent and food. But it wasn't enough. She lost her home, and now she was struggling to feed her little boy.
But no matter where we end up, as long as my baby Jasper is with me, we'll be fine.
I couldn't help but think about my mom when I looked at her. Mom worked so hard just to give me a good life. But I could see now that I was ungrateful, spoiled, and mean. If I'd been a better daughter, I would still be with her. A few months later, I noticed that Maggie had started throwing up a lot. At first, I thought she had food poisoning. It's not the food.
I think I'm pregnant.
I was shocked. Maggie was just a few years older than me. How was she going to have a baby in this situation? Poor Maggie was miserable the whole time. She was too tired and too weak to do anything. All she did was sleep while her belly grew bigger. I did everything I could just to make life easier for her, but Maggie was having a really hard time with her pregnancy. Thankfully, the shelter allowed her to stay. They told me that I could stay for as long as I liked too. But that was because I was the only one who could tie a bandage or examine the injuries of girls who just arrived. We became family, but I never really belonged there. Monsters like me don't deserve to belong anywhere. Another few months went by. Then one night, Maggie woke up everyone with her screams.
It hurt so bad.
She yelled. The other girls shrink back in fear, but I couldn't. Maggie was my friend. I held her hand while she screamed in pain. Then her water broke.
How? I think the baby is coming now.
I was terrified, but I was the only one who could help her. I asked the girls to find clean towels. As I looked at Maggie's anguished face, I remembered the other woman, Jade. My mom delivered her baby in the living room. It's all right, Maggie, I'm here, and it's time for you to push. She did, over and over again. In a matter of minutes, the baby came. I wrapped the baby in a clean towel and handed it to her. Like Jade, she forgot that she had just been screaming a few seconds ago. She forgot that she was in a shelter. She forgot that she was broke. All that mattered was that little baby in her arms. I couldn't believe what I'd just done. And I couldn't believe the transformation on Maggie's face. I was so relieved when someone said that the ambulance was here. Maggie kept insisting that I go to the hospital with her. Then the doctors checked her and the baby out. After a few moments, the doctor came to talk to me.
Maggie said that you delivered her baby. How old are you?
I told her I was only 16. To be honest, I was so scared. It happened so quickly, but now I'm just exhausted. The doctor laughed and told me that I did a good job. I felt really proud. Then I wondered if my mom would have been proud of me too if she knew. Maggie went back to the shelter a few days later. She kept thanking me, and she said she'd name the baby after me. She also went back to her parents' house. It was different now that little Sarah was here. Then, she told me that a TV news crew had interviewed her at the hospital, and that's how her parents had found her. I think that's how my dad found me too. He and Emma arrived a few days later to take me home. My dad hugged me so tightly. I wanted to tell him about everything that had happened, but no words came out. I could only cry. Emma wiped away my tears.
It's time to go home now, Sarah.
and I nodded. So we got back into the car and drove home. But after a few hours, I realized that we weren't going back to their house. We were on a long road with big longs on both sides of the street. My breath caught in my throat. It looked like we were driving to the cemetery. I can't do this right now, I said, and I began to panic. My dad was firm.
It's time to face it. You've run away long enough.
I wanted to apologize to my mom, but I didn't think I was ready to see her grave.
Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry.
Dad parked the car, and they led me towards a building. I was confused. Why was there a building in the middle of a cemetery? We walked down a series of corridors and knocked on a door. It took some time for it to open, but when it did, I gasped. Mom was inside. She was very thin, but she was alive. I'm so sorry. I gasped and I ran to hug her.
You've gotten so big. I was so worried about you. Please don't blame yourself for the accident,
Mom said, while she stroked my cheek.
A car crashed into mine while I was driving home. I can't walk anymore. But it's not your fault, Sarah.
Suddenly, Mom made a fist and banged it on the bed.
How I wish I could take care of you, but I can barely take care of myself.
I took Mom's hand. Even in her state, her main concern was taking care of me. Then everything I saw about mothers and their children flashed through my mind. Emma with Josh, Stella with her son, and even Maggie with her new daughter. Mom, it's time to go home together. You looked after me better than any mom ever could, and now it's time for me to do the same for you.